I'll say good morning again and allow those folks out in the hall to allow them 1 minute to get themselves in here. Have you noticed this has been a problem like forever? My name is Ellen. I use she, her pronouns. Good morning and welcome to Hope United Church of Christ of Aurora and Naperville. No matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. Welcome to those joining us online. A special welcome to our visitors. Please fill out a visitor card and chat with Pastor Wally after the service. At this time, please check in using your favorite social media. Let your friends and family know that you are here at Hope UCC. Then, please silence your cell phone. After worship, please join us for coffee hour in the lobby. And now I'm going to go over here so I can see the announcements. That one is always. If you want to go out for lunch after, meet us out by coffee hour and we decide where we're going. This is an event this evening, hanging of the greens and the chili cook-off in conjunction with Bethany. Next Sunday, the 1st of December, will be our first Sunday of the month pre-worship coffee hour. And we've been enjoying this a lot. We've really developed a love for this. So this is our holiday gift drive to support Mutual Ground, and all the details are in the newsletter, or you can talk to Zach or Jolie. Oh, thank you, Jolie. That'll make it easier for all of us. And the holiday card project. Again, you can see Jolene for more information. A week from Friday here at Hope, we're going to do cards. And this is the calendar for our Advent and Christmas season. So we got lots going on. Caroling will be on the 14th. Is there anyone here today that could answer any questions about caroling? I know Carrie is the one in charge. Okay, Shannon, thank you. And Blue Christmas will be on the 21st, and that is going to be at First Presbyterian in Bolingbrook this year. And again, details in the newsletter, or you can ask Julie or myself. And Christmas Eve, the 23rd of December at 6 o'clock here at Bethany. We got a lot going on.
Dear Marie Higgins, that's me. The United Church of Christ is pleased to award Hope Community United Church of Christ in Bolingbrook, Illinois, with a $250 matching grant for your fundraising efforts and commitment to assemble the following kits to be distributed by Church World Services: 120 period packs or menstrual hygiene kits. Period packs give women and girls living in poverty the essentials they need to feel clean, be healthy, and live with dignity during the menstrual cycle. Check number, there's a check number, dated 11/20, in the amount of $250 has been issued and mailed. Woohoo! So they're asking us to document, so we're going to take some photos and fill in some handy-dandy paperwork. Participation by Hope Community United Church of Christ in this important and tangible ministry program is very much appreciated. Sincerely, Craig Hoffman, who is the Program Assistant for Global Hope, Humanitarian Opportunities Partnership Empowerment, the United Church of Christ National Ministries. Happy dance!
And now Tim has a moderator minute. Minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Like, how many weeks do we do that? Like, Marie gets up, Tim gets up. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving week. But before I do that, we have one other thing. Lane's birthday was last week. I should love it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lee. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, Thanksgiving is the key here. That's what I'm thinking about. And we give thanks for Ling. We give thanks for Anna. We give thanks for the tech team. We give thanks for everyone who's here. Because giving thanks is important. Which gets me to Thanksgiving, which gets me to 1620, which gets me to those pilgrims coming over, which gets me to 1621. It was really nasty. Which gets me to really bad weather, like half the people die. Which gets me to, what are we going to do? Which gets me to indigenous peoples actually saving everybody that was not an indigenous person because they just didn't know how to do anything, basically. Which gets me to having a feast which some would say that the Native Americans, the indigenous people weren't even invited, but they were in the area. Because part of what they did was to give thanks. And they would travel through the area to different tribal areas giving thanks. And some say that they just happened to be in the area when our pilgrim leftovers who had survived the winter started to had a good crop and were going to have a meal. They had no turkey. They had no pumpkin pie. They had no potatoes because those things, they didn't have those. But what they did have was a sense of gratitude, a sense of thanks, which leads me to this. A card dated November 12th, 2024. Dear friends, though we are far away, you remain close in our hearts. God bless you for who you are and what you do. Texas needs the United Church of Christ. In shared hope, Barbara and Dick Anderson. Now, to those who don't know, Barb and Dick were founding members of Hope way back in the day, and they've since obviously moved to Texas. But they remember Hope so fondly that they still support Hope, even at a distance. So for that, I am very grateful, as I am grateful for all of you that I see here today. And I'm grateful for those who haven't yet found us, but will. And on that, let's have a great, grateful service. Thank you.
And now, passing of the peace.
I gotta put my name tag on. I gotta put this in here too.
Oh, yeah, maybe I should do that. Birthday girl. Okay.
Everybody else is gonna sweat. I think I know it.
Peace, salam, shalom. 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 Peace, salam, shalom.
I'm now going to read the Hope UCC land acknowledgement, which we in the Adult Quest wrote in 2022. In the spirit of request and reciprocity, we acknowledge that we gather as Hope United Church of Christ on the traditional land of the Chippewa, Miami, Ottawa, Potawatomi, and Ho-Chunk peoples, past and present. We honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have stewarded it through the years. This calls us to continue to learn more about the native peoples of this area and to be better stewards of the land we inhabit as well. Please join me in our statement of faith. Hope United Church of Christ is a progressive Christian voice that welcomes diverse people for reflection and action. Rooted in United Church of Christ, Hope takes the Bible seriously, not literally. People who are joyfully and unapologetically Christian, we pledge ourselves completely to the way of love. We work to express our love as Jesus taught by loving God, neighbor, and self. We unite personal faith with justice, prayer with peacemaking, and spirituality with action. We passionately believe in the power of hope.
should. Well, I don't have any real children here today, so I have two children to learn to well, little children. So what I'm going to do is I decided I was listening to Brianna on the way to church this morning, and I was in such a good mood. I thought, well, if no kids show up, then we're going to play a game. And this might help you if you're getting together with your family members at Thanksgiving and not all of you are in the same accord. And I don't mean a Honda. Okay? So, let's play this game called Two Truths and a Lie. Okay? But I need you guys to participate in it. Okay? Jesus said, screw them, we're not feeding them. Jesus said, give to the poor. Jesus said, love your enemies. Which is the lie? Jesus also said, if we give to them, our taxes are just going to go up. Jesus also said, have compassion for those who don't have what you have. Accept those who are different from you. So what's the lie? The first one. Okay, and the last one is this. Jesus said to love your enemies. Jesus said, loving your enemies means that you can take away their rights and prevent them from having control over their bodies. And Jesus also said, yeah, we should be singing all the time together and hanging out. Which is the lie? Right, there you go. So I want to add a little bit of laughter. This is, I am not getting together with my family this year because they're non-progressives, which is the nice way of putting it, that there's something else. And they're Christian nationalists, so having their gay liberal brother show up is probably not the best thing that they want right now. So keep your smiles on wherever you're at, whoever you're with. Stand very firmly in what you believe in. And let love rule in your heart. And for me, watch what you say. Have a good one.
If you are comfortable in standing, please do so. But please, everyone, join us as we sing number 5 here in this place.
Holy One, may your presence here open our minds. May your spirit among us help us to find you. Oh, rising up now like a fountain of grace from the holy ground here in this place. Here in this place. Holy One, may your spirit here open our minds. May your spirit among us help us to find you. Oh, rising up now like a fountain of grace from the holy ground here in this place. Here in this place. Here in this place.
I invite you to find yourself in a comfortable seated position and listen to these words and enjoy a moment of gratitude from Deepak Chopra. Experiencing gratitude is one of the most effective ways of getting in touch with your soul. When you're in touch with your soul, you eavesdrop on the thoughts of the universe. You feel connected to everything in creation. You embrace the wisdom of uncertainty, and you sense yourself as a field of infinite possibilities. Gratitude is a fullness of heart that moves you from limitation and fear to expansion and love. When you're appreciating something, your ego moves out of the way. You can't have your attention be on ego and gratitude at the same time. Just for a few moments, consider the things you have in your life that you could be grateful for. All the nurturing relationships, the material comforts, your body, and the mind that allows you to really understand yourself and everything around you. Just breathe and be grateful for the air that is filling your lungs and making your life possible. Simply feel your body and your aliveness and acknowledge what a miracle it is just to be alive right now. Allow your awareness to appreciate what you are seeing, smelling, and touching just at this moment. And you will find yourself in the middle of the stream of life without trying at all. Feel the love, compassion, and understanding that gratitude brings into your heart. Notice how gratitude brings your attention into the present time, which is the moment in which miracles can unfold. The deeper your appreciation, the more you see with the eyes of the soul, and the more your life flows in harmony with the creative power of the universe.
Some things before we get started, or I get started, I should say. Kind of glad we shut the door. It was getting cool enough in here, don't you think? If any of you get hot, well, I don't know what to do about that. Second of all, we have some of the most remarkable pieces of literature that get involved into our worship service, our worship experience. Some absolutely remarkable pieces, and for the most part, those are chosen by Julie. And I think we should say thank you. And then we have some remarkable people who read those things for our own, it's not just edification, it's our own spiritual ease, comfort, and growth. And today it was Ellen, and others of you have done it at different times, and I think we should say thank you to all of them as well.
Thank you.
Third, screw this. I got to tell you, though, in my reading of the scriptures, especially the Gospels, well, the only place I'd find it would be in the Gospels, I think there were some words of Jesus that were occasionally judiciously edited out, and I think he might have said screw this a few times. And when I get to meet my maker, I may have to pay for that one, who knows. And then finally, before I get started, I need to explain to you, it has sort of been brought to my attention, not specifically, or nobody has said, why are you doing that? Why do I do this? Why do I do this little prologue sort of a thing? And that is just sort of to scratch the surface, to get you thinking in the same direction that I've been thinking, to get you wrestling. A sermon is my effort, and this is classical, is my effort at wrestling with some sort of a spiritual or theological issue on behalf of you, and then coming up with some sort of a resolution. Well, I like to involve you in the process, and if I can't do it in one piece, closer to the end of the service, then I'm going to split it up into two and make you think about it for a while. And then we can argue about it or discuss it or whatever it is that you want afterwards. But that's why I will oftentimes leave this particular section, the prologue, with a question. Now I'm going to start. Prologue to the prologue. That's good. That's good. Does he do that at home? I didn't want to come here today. And it doesn't have anything to do with you two. I didn't want to come here today. I don't feel good. I have a cold. I mean, it's a cold. It's nothing more serious than a cold, but it's just a pain. You know what I'm talking about. You've all had a cold. You all know what it's like. You don't want to get out of bed. You just want to sit there and sip your hot tea and watch whatever insipid television is on until you fall back asleep, and then you wake up to more insipid television, and then you fall asleep. You know the drill. Also, I don't know what's with it, but the last few days, the arthritis in my hands has been killing me. I'm assuming that some of you are afflicted with arthritis, and if I had to grasp a tennis racket or a golf club or even a pen for any period of time, it would be awful in trying to pick up a guitar or a ukulele and trying to do something with those. It's like, no, I don't want to do this. It just hurts. And the last thing is, and I'll pause at the end of this so you can make whatever kinds of wise-mouthed comments you need to. This is new for me, but from here all the way around has somehow started to hurt. I don't know what I did, but when we get to a certain age, you can hurt yourself putting your socks on, or just when you wake up in the morning and you get out of bed and you say, well, that didn't hurt yesterday. Well, that's what I have. So I have a pain right here. Go ahead.
The baby's on the bus going, wham, wham, wham.
I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking more about a pain right here.
Oh, I get it.
But okay, wham, 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 whine, whine, whine. But you know what? I decided to come anyway because you're important. So are you. So are all of you. Because we're all important, and it's important enough to me to put some of that stuff aside and be here with you, staying away from you as much as I can, wearing a mask as much as I can, and also struggling through what I'm trying to say, so that whatever it is that I've been thinking about, you get to share in that as well. Because we're family. Remember when I first came here, I said I don't like the term family? Yeah. And we need a different term? I still don't like the term family. And I haven't found a better term for it. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the second part of the sermon. But I'm still not real convinced of that. We're heading into Thanksgiving, as Tim mentioned earlier, And I have been blessed. I have been blessed with a family that, for the most part, does not argue, does not fight. The family that I have currently, for the most part, is pretty much in the same vein of thinking as I am. So the only argument would be is White Sox or Cubs or Detroit Lions or the Chicago Bears. And we just sort of jostle about that. We don't really fight about those things. But everybody, in-laws and everything, at least the in-laws that we're going to be with, there's one of our children and his in-laws that I would try to keep us talking about the weather as much as I could. But you know what I'm talking about? Except I don't. I have been blessed with these people that we're going to be sharing our Thanksgiving meal with on Thursday, with people who don't fight. I mean, we don't.
We fight over Augie.
Well, we fight over who gets to hold him or chase him or whatever, yeah. But we're all, again, in lockstep in our absolute adoration of the boys, so, it's okay. Augie, by the way, if you don't know it already, and I can't believe you don't, is our grandson. How did I get to be so fortunate, so blessed? How is it that some people are not so blessed? I mean, we know that there are people who it's like pulling teeth to go visit family or have a meal with the family, because we know that somebody is going to prod you into things that you don't want to say or feelings that you don't want to have. You know that there are people that are going to bait you into a fight or an argument. And yet, I've been blessed. But I think I've been blessed here too. Even my Packerbacker back here is a kind and gentle soul. The Viking fan is a kind and gentle soul. Sometimes. How is it that we have organically gathered together in something that's like a family but greater than? You catch what I'm saying here? I'm grateful for all the people in my life, even the ones who argue with me. I'm grateful for all the people in my life who support me and who criticize me. I'm grateful for all the people who help me become better in my thought and in my behavior. But I'm not so grateful for the people who want to fight with me. And fortunately, there aren't so many of those. Not anymore. Where are you in this spectrum? Thursday, is this going to be a day of joy for you? Or is this going to be a day of, oh, crap, here it comes again? Wait, did I say that? Did that come out of my mouth?
Got screw that and crap. Only up from here.
There are still children of God here. Come on, Aaron. Anyway, think about where you fit, where your family fits. Think about, what would Jesus say? What would Jesus say?
Please join us in number 33. There's a spirit of love in this place.
There's a spirit of love in this place. There's a spirit of love in this place. You can't see it, but it's there, just as precious as the air. There's a spirit of love in this place. There's a presence of peace in this room. There's a presence of peace in this room. In God's tenderness is found peace that passes human bounds. There's the presence of peace in this room. Oh, alleluia, sing alleluia. We bless your holy name. Oh, alleluia, sing alleluia. There's a spirit of love in this place.
Okay, Thanksgiving. Was it last week we had the potluck? And Tori and Wesley, well, Wesley was saying, because Tori wasn't here, but Wesley was saying that they had a Thanksgiving dinner once when they didn't have the turkey or the ham. They just had the sides. And to me, sometimes the sides, well, oftentimes the sides are better than the turkey or the ham. That's not to say that I don't like turkey or ham, two of my favorite meats. Turkey I can eat a lot of, and ham maybe not so much. But what's your favorite side? The grateful things, the gratitude things, what's your favorite side? Mashed, oh yeah, mashed potatoes and gravy. Sweet potatoes, green bean casserole. Stuffing. Now, when you said sweet potatoes, the kind that comes in the big flat pan covered with marshmallows?
I like any
Any kind. Okay, here you go. How many things that we're grateful for, and probably none of these things were at the first Thanksgiving. I mean, they were eating fish and deer and whatever. Yeah, they could have eaten wild turkey. Or drank it, I don't know. Anyway, be grateful for what you're going to have. And if you're going to be with family, be grateful that you're going to be with family. If you're not going to be with family, be grateful that you're not going to be with family. If you need a family to be grateful with, give us a call. And we'll figure something out. And let's just be grateful for everything that God has given to us, including here. And let's take an offering. I need to explain something. I just threw Mary a curveball. Because the scripture that will be up there isn't the scripture that we wanted to use today. The scripture that's up there is actually John 1, starting with the first verse. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. And it's actually supposed to be, hush. Hush. And it's supposed to be from John 15. And so she's been in the back trying to read the tiny print in this little Bible that we've got here so that she can figure out what it is that she's supposed to be saying. So no chance to practice, no expanded, large print for those of us who have trouble seeing. But it's John 15, verses 1 through 12.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's very tiny print. I made it up to 16 for the other one. So, and I'll do my best to be as inclusive as possible, because this one isn't. I am the true vine, and God is the gardener. God cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, God prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If someone remains in me, and I in that person will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If anyone does not remain in me, that person is like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you remain in me, and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be given you. This is to God's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. As God has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you obey my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have obeyed God's commands and remain in God's love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. The end. Or the beginning.
Today's anthem is one that we've done before, but in particular in this time of coming up to the holidays, which may be joyful, may be scary, may be whatever, and just the way of the world, it is from me, from the ensemble, to all of you. It's called You're Gonna Be Okay.
Hold on. okay. I know your heart is heavy from those nights, but just remember that you are a fighter, a fighter. You never know just what tomorrow brings, and you're stronger than you know. You're stronger than you know. Hold on, don't let go. Hey, hold on, don't let go. Just take one step closer. Put one foot in front of the other. You'll get through this. Just follow the light into darkness. One step closer. Put one foot in front of the other. You'll get through this. Just follow the light into darkness. You're gonna be okay. And the night is closing in. Don't give up and don't give in. This won't last. It's not the end. It's not the end. You're gonna be okay. When the night is closing in, don't give up and don't give in. This won't last. It's not the end. It's not the end. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
Huh. Why can't more people say that? You're going to be okay. What a great message. If you don't get anything else out of the worship service today, just remember what they just sang, okay? When I was in seminary, naturally I had to write sermons. The last sermon I wrote for my very famous preaching professor was my attempt at re-imaging the whole Christ mythology, so to speak. I tried to change Jesus from being a fisherman into being a gardener, because I was 25 years old and I thought I knew everything there was to know about everything. And so I tried to change Jesus from being a fisherman into being a gardener. And as I got the paper, the written sermon back from my professor, he had a whole page of startling red notes. But it started off with, "Wally, you were crocked when you wrote this, weren't you?" I will remind you, I was 25 years old. Long hair, beard. And that was probably a decent assumption on his part, but I was not. What I was just arrogant. However, I think that idea still has merit. The idea of Jesus not just being a fisherman, but Jesus also being a gardener. And I don't get that by myself, because what she read today, what John wrote, was Jesus' words in saying, "I am the vine, you are the branches." That's where I'm coming out. Instead of us being a family, that we are a vine. But there are some holes in this. There are some holes in this. The way that Jesus set up the structure was God's the gardener, I am the vine, you're the branches. What's missing? Where are the roots? Where are the roots? Who are the roots? I mean, I know the roots play for Jimmy Fallon, but that's a good answer, Mary. The generations before us. Except sometimes the generations before us weren't up to the task, were they? When we think about where we've been and what we've learned and how we learned it, we know that we've learned some wrong lessons at different times, haven't we? So, maybe. And then Jesus said, my expectation of you as the branches of this vine is to bear fruit. Who is the fruit? What is the fruit? How does that work? How does that happen? I haven't really got good answers because I'm still wrestling with this, and I will continue to wrestle with this. But I don't think there's a gardener. I don't think there's a gardener. There may have been a creator of the gardener, somebody who set things in motion, and that would be our creator. But then I think that becomes the roots. That becomes the roots that spring down into the well of nutrients and water that's in the earth, that comes up into the vine that goes out into the branches, which would be us. So that it's a very direct line of us receiving that which we need to survive, that which we need to triumph from God. And then there's the fruit. The fruit is not a who. The fruit is a what? The good works, the action. The work that we do. The work that we do. In the book of James, James writes that faith without works is dead. It doesn't do any good for you to say, oh, be warm and eat well and be healthy if you don't give people, the poor people who don't have those things, the things that they need to be healthy and strong and to survive. Jesus said, if somebody asks you for your coat, give them your cloak too. It's a matter of opening ourselves out to things. It's a matter of opening our lives to the power that comes up through the ground for us, where we are rooted to the ground, sort of like Atlas in Greek mythology, but it flows out not to stop with us, but to proceed out from us. And what happens with fruit anyway? The fruit that perhaps doesn't get picked, or the fruit that somehow is left on the vine, creates another vine, doesn't it? I mean, if you took an apple and you just threw an apple into the woods someplace, there's going to be another apple tree growing there sometime, right? Somehow or another. That's the way that it works. It may not be quite the same apple that it was than when you first got it, but it becomes something that is an apple, because that has the power of creation that is lodged within it. Why is that important today? because, okay, I'm going to set up the joke and you can finish it. Those of us who are going to be eating with families are going to be gathered with a lot of fruit. Come on. We done with that? I thought that was a pretty funny line, but anyway. Must be the cops, or maybe I was crocked. Excuse me. Some of the fruit is going to be a green grape or a red grape or a black grape. Some there's not going to be much fruit at all, right? Some of it's going to be sweet, some of it's going to be sour, some of it's going to be stomped underfoot, and some of it's going to be just thrown away. But it's all going to be fruit, just like we are. Just like we are. God made us to be the branches so that we could reach out and bring the fruit into a relationship with us and with the rest of the world and with God. I'm still working on what it means to be a family. I'm still working on the problems with a family. I'm still working on the defining characteristics of support and nurture and judgment and obstruction that all come right out of a family. But for now, for this week at least, remember, you are the branches that produce fruit, the fruit of God. God expects you to be better. God expects you to be at the top of your game. If it works for you, good. If it doesn't, well, God also gives you another shot, always. May you have a happy Thanksgiving, however it is you celebrate it. May you all have a wonderful experience of gratitude. And I know I'm not supposed to say this sort of stuff, but may you all eat more than you're supposed to. Amen. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. I almost walked right past this. What's that? Can you see? Safety pin. I'm resurrecting an old program or an old concept. This comes from, what would that be? 8 years ago? Yeah, 8 years ago. Well, we gave people safety pins that you can wear on any sort of a piece of clothing that you would like, or just hold it in your heart if you need to. I think you can wear it plain, you can decorate it. I think I'm going to put some ribbon on mine. Yeah, thank you. What this means to me is that you're safe. That as a part of the vine, as a part of the branch, you're safe. And if somebody comes up to you and says, why do you have a safety pin in your shirt? Why do you have a safety pin on your jacket? Why do you have a safety pin there? And say, that's because with me, you're safe. Doesn't matter who you are, what you are. How did the Backstreet Boys say? I don't care who you are, where you've been, what you've done, as long as you love me.
That's right.
And take more than one if you want. But that's because we are a safe place. Now, go have a happy Thanksgiving.
For our closing hymn, we've chosen Children of God 195, verses 1 and 3. If you're comfortable to stand, please do so, but please join us in singing 195, Children of God.
Children of God, love one another. Doesn't make any difference if you're a white grape or a purple grape or a red grape or a black grape. Doesn't make any difference. Doesn't make any difference if you're new and fresh or wrinkly or anything. Thank goodness it doesn't matter if you're wrinkly. Go in peace, go in grace, and go bear some fruit. Have a great Thanksgiving. But the biggest thing here is go.